This is Mark Ashby reading from USA Today News section. Trans Girl 9 makes history on National Geographic cover by Susan Miller. In 1985, an Afghan girl with piercing green eyes stared into the world's soul from the cover of National Geographic in an iconic and mesmerizing photo. 31 years later, another young girl peers out from the magazine's glossy front in an equally compelling portrait. A girl with tangles of pink-streaked hair, comfy pink jeggings, and a resolute gaze. A girl who until 2012 lived as a boy. Meet Avery Jackson, 9, the first transgender individual to grace the cover of the 128-year-old magazine, which is rolling out to subscribers this week in a special edition devoted solely to gender issues around the globe. Avery never intended to be a trailblazer for gender identity, a topic that is front and center in a rapid-fire evolution of how people define themselves. Growing up, I really just wanted to be myself, Avery told USA Today. I'm just a girl. But the Kansas City fourth grader knows the significance of the magazine's cover. By putting myself more out there, people will be able to know that I am transgender and proud and learn more about transgender issues. From the Supreme Court to state houses, fashion pages to Facebook, the question of who we are is complicated and fluid and never more relevant. That is why National Geographic decided to devote its January issue to the gender revolution, said Susan Goldberg, the magazine's editor-in-chief. It seems that the discussion about gender is really at the center of our national conversation. It is playing out in our education system, legal system, the military. Everywhere you look, there is this conversation. What started out as a story about girl empowerment a year ago soon took flight in a deeper direction. Editors said it's really complicated to be a boy, too, Goldberg said. The magazine decided to examine all facets of gender through culture, society, and science, and humanize the stories of everyday people, she said. The choice of a petite pioneer for the cover seemed natural, Goldberg added. We thought Avery was so strong, so proud, and confident about her decisions that she was a good person to symbolize the new discussions about gender. She seems to sum up the complexity of the issue. Avery's story. Avery's mother, Debbie Jackson, 42, said her child went from being a happy, outgoing 2-year-old boy to becoming sullen and depressed between the ages of 3 and 4. Avery became angry and withdrawn and hated going to preschool, Jackson said. She started talking about death a lot. When Avery dressed up in a princess dress, the darkness lifted, said Jackson, who also has a son, Anson, 11, with husband Tom, 41. The couple thought their child was a gay boy and it would be okay. One day, when they were walking through Target on a holiday shopping trip, Jackson said Avery turned to her and said, "You call me a boy, you think I'm a boy, but you know I'm a girl on the inside, right?" What followed were pediatrician visits, sessions with a genetic therapist, and the decision to let Avery dress as a girl on the weekends. And then came another pivotal moment, Jackson said. Avery was going to a birthday party on a Sunday afternoon, and her mom asked her to put on boy clothes for a few hours. "No," Avery said. "I don't want to pretend to be a boy." Avery dressed as a girl, and none of her friends batted an eye, Jackson said. On Monday morning, she dressed for school in pink head to toe, Jackson said, and she was excited about going to school for the first time in months. Beyond transgender. The January special edition, which includes a glossary of more than 20 terms redefining gender, is landing at a time when the political landscape is shifting and some fear a rollback in rights. Jackson, who calls her homeschooled daughter smart, fearless, and a natural entertainer, was hit by the enormity of the magazine cover photo and how confident and secure Avery seemed. Yet there already has been a backlash in conservative circles, she acknowledged. "We still have a chance to change hearts and minds," said Jackson, who has become an advocate for transgender rights. "We are just trying to put a face to a word that people don't understand." Georgianne Davis, 36, also has powerful insight into gender identity, one delivered in a gut-kicking revelation. Davis, whose story is told in the magazine, was born with an intersex trait known as CASE, complete androgen insensitivity syndrome, that wasn't identified until her adolescence. She was born with a vagina, internal and undescended testes, and XY chromosomes.